Welcome to today's SEIDOKAN Saturday. We are at the final leg of the return sequence in Pinan Shodan. So we've gone here, we've gone all the way around the kata, we've turned. Now we're coming back down the embusen, and I'll turn it around for you. We've done block punch, free block kick punch going forward. Now we come to morote uke. Now, speaking on morote uke, again, if you go back to my block teaching, and when I taught the morote uke, the two-handed block, morote, means both hands, okay? Some people call it supported block. It's not, because if I put my fist against my elbow, I actually weaken myself structurally, so I keep a slight distance away. Go back and look at that whole thing on morote uke, on two-hand block. In square stance, shikodachi, as we do in Pinan Shodan, my palm is up. In Pinan Yondan later, I go to Zenkutsudachi, now my palm is down. And it has to do with relative position of the hip and the fact that this is a hidden punch, if you will. It's not super hidden, but we just don't extend it a lot. Although a Hachiota of the Matsubayashi Ryu was one of the first that I saw teach it this way with the block and the punch. But for our purposes, instead of just a block and punch, we're going to take the other explanation of morote uke, which is that I am in the kumikata, the gripping position, or the tie-up position of judo opening, or in wrestling, it would be the tie-up where I have the elbow and the head, and we're head-to-head here. That's the interpretation we're going to take. So in the kata, we go morote uke, and then this foot pulls up and back, and we do morote zuki, or tsuki, double thrust punch. From the side, this way, and then double punch. And these punches are not offset, they're both straight forward. We're going to learn with this the throw deashi barai, the foot sweep, which is what it's called in judo. Sumo has its own terminology. Most jiu-jitsu uses the same terminology as judo. So, James, if you will, onegaishimasu. So for the pattern, three things are important in any throw. First is the irimi, the getting in. So we're already starting in this tie-up position. Now, even in judo, we start with kumikata in the tie-up position, but they're pushing each other away and trying to keep distance. So at some point, they still have to make irimi and close that distance. The second is kuzushi, or the moment of imbalance. If he's balanced here, very difficult for me to throw him most ways because he can move his feet or he can brace himself if I push and pull, right? He's on balance. So we're going to create a rhythm and then break that rhythm as our moment of kuzushi or imbalance. So we're going to step together, 1, 2. Now on the third one, he's going to step in the same pattern we were expecting just for the sake of this drill. And I'm going to break that pattern by catching his foot while it's in motion. I hook with the arch of my foot here and sweep him across. As I do that, my hands are steering the wheel in the opposite direction. So the top is going this way, the bottom is going that way. So I pull, sweep, turn. As he drops, hey! Solar plexus and face, groin and solar plexus, pick your spots. Okay, switch sides. So again, this is the drill version where we assume irimi has already taken place. We're going to now create kuzushi by breaking the rhythm. And then double punch. Okay? Now, there are other throws. When we put this into a more realistic context, we're sparring, right? And I get a hold of him. Now, there are a lot of throws I could do from here. I'm on the opposite side of the kata, but we're going to learn it right and left, either way. So now I can imbalance in this way, sweep with this foot. And again, I turn the wheel, same finish for the sake of parity, okay? So that's one way we could get into it in a sparring situation. We get in here and we tie up. From the tie-up position, I create an imbalance here, and then I take his foot, okay? Now in static practice, we start in the morote uke position. My top hand's going to go here. My right foot's going to come forward on the blade edge of my foot. turning the wheel, then I switch hands. Foot forward on the blade edge of the foot, turn the wheel, switch hands. That helps us to learn the essential counter motion of the throw. The other thing it teaches us is when I do this, that I'm not going to step here and stumble over when the guy falls. Very important that when I sweep, I step strongly in the direction that I've thrown him so he doesn't pull me over. Other side. So we go 1, 2. Now on the 3, when I throw him, I'm going to intentionally use horrible balance. 3. Okay. Again. 3. Oh! And my feet are too close together and I didn't step out purposefully like I should have. So when we do this throw, important to step strongly and low so that he doesn't pull me over. If I'm trying to stay straight up or feet together and he still has a hold of me, he could just pull me and I tumble over the top, which is kind of counterproductive to the point, really. Now we see a similar thing in anaku. We'd be on the other side, but we're here. So now I'm framing and pushing him across. And my foot, in this case, see if I'm on the right side. No, that's Seisan side. Go anaku side. That doesn't matter. Seisan side. Either way, same thing. So in Seisan, we go here as we pull. When I pull this foot in, I can use osotogake. Okay? Or, sorry, that was ouchigake. Inside. Okay? Big inside. On anaku, I can go osotogake. Here. So each time, for example, we go 1, 2, that, move, osotogake, the outside. Again, this is really useful in sparring or working. I get tied up, boom, hook the leg. Okay? Very useful there. Same thing, ouchigake, hook the leg. Feels good, doesn't it? Where'd my balance go? But that's the idea of these moves. We also can see this in Naihanshikata. But for the sake of Pinan Shodan, 1, stepping 1, 2, catch him in the step out strong, finish. Arigatou gozaimasu. That is our bunkai moment for the day. Judo is very specific about the ashibarai versus osotogake versus ouchigake. In Okinawan, we're just hooking the leg. Even in sumo, very, very little other than kageashe. It's just hook the leg. And however you did it, that's what they call it. So terminology is irrelevant, but we can sweep the foot, kick the inside, kick the outside. Oh, one other issue. So again, if I take this as if it were just a fighting kumite stance, same thing, I can make a sweep here to create a little movement of the hand, giving me an opening. We can go here, I can make a big sweep, create the opening. So even in basic kumite, kick his foot. That's where I want to get him, right? Bad place to be.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the ashibarai, or de ashibarai, if we're using the hands, ashibarai if we're not, from Morote in Pinan Shodan. Thanks for joining. Hopefully that gives you some insight in how to use it. Again, situational application. The drill with the 3 steps is just a good way to sort of get the pattern in your head, make sure you're getting feet in the right position. But once you've accomplished that, then you can start working situational throws, sparring, tie-up positions, etc. Thank you for joining. As always, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Until next week, as always, keep practicing.